Hello everybody. So it is Use the Whole Damn Thing month, and today I have a very special one, tamarind. Tamarind is a very useful tree. If you saw my tamarind episode from a long time ago, I reviewed both the ripe tamarind and unripe tamarind. Unripe tamarind is used kind of like a vegetable, like a sour vegetable. There's a really nice, refreshing, sour taste to it. So it goes well with dipping it in salt or chili, and some people dip it in fish sauce. The leaves of the tamarind tree are edible, and people will use them to flavor soups sometimes or make tea. The flowers of the tamarind are also edible, and people put that into salads, or you can pickle them. One of the more interesting things that you can do with tamarind is eat the seeds. This is not a very commonly done thing, just in areas where tamarind grows. Sometimes people will do this, like in villages, and because of that, there's not a whole lot of information about it. But I did a lot of scouring, and I think I figured out how to do it. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to prepare tamarind seeds. So I bought a box of sweet tamarind at an Asian supermarket. Just came in a box like this, and in here it's all just fresh tamarind. I mean, tamarind is dried, but I think it dries naturally on the tree. This is a pound of tamarind. The first step is to just remove the outer shell. There's little veins here. You want to remove the veins as well. And you're left with this sticky little thing here. Yeah, this is kind of a tedious thing to do just because the tamarind is so sticky. There is the first tamarind seed. This is gonna take a really long time, guys. And there we go, number one. So here are some seed thoughts for you guys. You can actually play a game with tamarind seeds. It's called Pulankuru, I believe, in southwestern India. So I could technically cheat and just say you can use the whole damn thing by playing this game. The muscle memory in my hands right now is probably as good as it's gonna get. So here's how to do this quickly. If you take out the seeds and then go for another pod, it just ends up being a big mess. So what you do first is get all the shells out of the way and then start removing seeds. And this isn't hard to do. It just takes a little twist, pull the veins out. There you go. But getting the seeds out, that takes a little finesse. Scratch off a little bit. You see that little white in there? That is this little membrane that surrounds the seed. So what I've been doing is I take the knife and carefully, not to stab my fingers, I puncture straight through and into that seed coat. Okay, so I'm in that seed coat and I just kind of twist, and then the seed gets exposed a little bit. And from there you can angle the knife underneath the seed and just kind of like pop that guy out. So again, I'll show you in the next one. So I puncture up into the seed coat and then get behind the seed with the knife and push it out. This is less than 1 cup of seeds for that entire pound of fruit. I hope I don't mess it up. But I do have a whole lot of pulp, maybe 2 cups of pulp. And what am I gonna do with that pulp? But not today. Now before you leave me a comment about this pile of tamarind shells that I have, I found an article online that says that these have been used to make activated carbon. According to the article, high-performance solid-state electric double-layer capacitor from redox-mediated gel polymer electrolyte and renewable tamarind fruit shell derived porous carbon. It says this: based on the overall performance, it is strongly believed that the combination of tamarind fruit shell derived activated carbon and Na2MO04/PVA/H2S04 gel electrolyte is more attractive in the near future for high performance SSEDLCs. Yep, I have no idea what that means, but there you go, it can be used. For the next step, I have taken my seeds and put them in some water. This way I can just kind of rinse off some of the extra goo. Okay, since these are wet now, I'm gonna lay them out on a towel. Just kind of dry them off a little bit. Next step, I'm gonna turn on a medium flame, and in that dry pan go the seeds. So if you were to crack one of these open and just eat it raw without doing this process, it's bitter. I believe they are edible, but they don't taste very good. So this cooks them, but also these things are like rocks. Cracking one of these open is very, very hard to do. And when you roast them, it should make the shells a little bit more brittle. It will make it easier to crack into. In the resources I found online, I have heard that you let these cook for 15 to 20 minutes. I've heard that you cook them until they turn black. And I've heard that you cook them until they start crackling and sputtering. So I don't know what's going to happen first, so let's just keep it on and see what happens. Got some more seed thoughts for you. Sort of thoughts that come to you just when you're spending hours preparing seeds. I've noticed that there are a lot of different YouTube channels that have people eating tamarind seeds. They are out there. However, it is a special kind of YouTube video that I've discovered. It's like villagers like making food, which is great. You know, it's usually very well shot, very beautiful, a lot of close-ups of like a stream, the wind going through the leaves and stuff like that. But they're always done with like no talking whatsoever and no information. I don't know who started it, but obviously one person made one and then a bunch of other videos copied it because they have almost exactly the same style. And the real clue that you're watching one of those videos is it will have the title of the channel here, like in the middle right part of the screen. Not down here where it normally is, but up here for some reason. I guess to keep people from like stealing their footage and cutting off the bottom or something. And there's like a dozen of them. They're all doing essentially the same thing. Although one of them actually did the whole process that I'm showing you, like something similar to what I'm showing you anyway, and then ground the seeds up into a flour and made Vada out of them. And Vada, if you haven't had that, it's like a little fried snack that is eaten in South India. But those videos were really more of a tease than anything else, because I saw it, it looked really good, but it gave me no actual information on what to do. Okay, they're black. They also have this really nice smell, like a nutty popcorn. Okay, I could touch these without burning myself, so let's move on to the next step. This shell on the outside needs to be cracked. This is probably gonna take a little finesse, just because I want to crack the shell, but not crack the kernel. It just takes a light hand, but it can be done this way. And that is what the tamarind seed kernel looks like. This thing is very, very hard. You can eat it, however, there's no way I'm biting through this thing. However, some people take this and like keep it in their mouth, kind of like a hard candy. It's a little bit like sucking on a large popcorn kernel, and a little bit of the roastiness you get from like a coffee bean or something. And I read on a blog that you can actually just like hold this in your mouth like a candy, and over time your saliva will soften it, and then you can chew it. From how this feels right now, I think that might take a couple of days. Here's some more learning as I go. Check this out. All these are in their shell. Fold it over like this. Give it a little rub. that. Now look, a bunch of them opened up. So mortar and pestle, maybe not the most effective way. It took me way too long to do that. My little roll method was good, but didn't help with all of them, so I still ended up having to use the mortar and pestle for some that the shell wouldn't come off. The good news is that softened up. So eating it as it is can be done, however, probably not the easiest way to do it. So it's time for the final step. You soak them. I'm going to add a couple good pinches of salt, and I'm going to add some warm water to this. "24 hours later. Look at that. It expanded a little bit, but not enough to make an entire cup. So that entire pound of tamarind at the end of the day gave me like 5/6 of a cup. Day and a half of work. This better be good. Well, I'm not breaking my teeth. They've softened quite a lot. And that texture is very similar to lupini beans. They're like a mild, buttery little bean, but they have a firm, kind of waxy texture to it. Flavor's a little bit like that too. It feels like it's got a similar sort of like oil content in it or something. But these also have a flavor that is very similar to peanuts. There's a little bit more of a darkness to these. Maybe I cooked them a little too long. Hard to tell. It was my first time. But they don't taste burnt, but they taste a little bit roastier than a peanut would be. And because of that, it reminds me a little bit of coffee in flavor. And I've heard that some people that actually roast these very far and make them very dark, and then you can actually make a coffee substitute with them. Seems like you could do that with everything. And there is a little bit of a corn kernel flavor to it. Not like popcorn, but like if you suck on a corn kernel kind of flavor in there as well. So peanuts, coffee, corn kernel, lupini beans, all in there. Is it worth all the effort? Hell no. But they're not bad. One negative here is that eat a peanut. Eat like a roasted peanut. Tastes really good, right? Take that roasted peanut, soak it in water for 24 hours, and then eat it. It kind of has that. It's like a little waterlogged tasting. And I think because of that, it's lacking a little bit. What I think would be even better is if you did this and then heated them up. Feels weird heating these up again since they are roasted. Look at that. Lovely. Now the texture is nice and crunchy on the outside. The trade-off here is you have a nicer texture and it's hot, but the flavor has reduced. Maybe this isn't the best way of dealing with it, but I think heating those things up in some way after you go through that process makes it a little bit more pleasant to eat. I'm going to make Vada, or at least the best I can do to make Vada. It's made with, I believe, black mung beans, but if you get it at an Indian market, it's called urad dal. And dal is what you think would be lentils, but urad dal is actually a type of mung bean. It's not actually a lentil, as far as I understand anyway. I'm a fruit explorer, not a mung bean explorer. So I actually have urad dal. I bought it a while ago to make lentil soup, not knowing that it wasn't really a lentil. I tried making lentil soup with it. Didn't really taste that great, so I put it back in the jar. Then I bought some actual lentils and put all those lentils on top of my urad dal. So this is going to be a Vada that has urad dal, brown lentils, and tamarind seeds in it. Wish me luck. And you know what this has to do? It has to sit overnight. because you know, I just had such a great time before doing that with the tamarind seeds. I'm looking forward to doing this again. So it created a strip going straight across. Strange. These are meant to be fluffy, kind of like a donut. And how that's done is you beat air into it. So I'm gonna actually cheat a little bit and do something that a lot of people say not to do. I'm gonna put baking soda in it. So in here I've got the Vada with tamarind, and here I have just plain Vada on its own without the tamarind. Probably needs to be a little thicker than this, but it's too late now. Yeah, I can't make a hole in these. They're a little gray looking, and I think that's because I have the skins on mine. Next I've got the dough with the tamarind seeds in it. Can I form a donut shape? Yes! There! That's not so bad, right? It's got a hole in it, everything. This is the one with the tamarind seed. This is the one without the tamarind seed. I'm going to compare them and see if there's any difference whatsoever, or if I just wasted more time. Alright, let's try it. Wow, that's very greasy. Yep, that is just like a little grease sponge. I think you could do with some more spice, with the flavor in there. It's quite good. It's like a little bit like falafel. Next, I'll try the tamarind seed one. Very similar, won't lie, but that one's better. This one is better. I mean, besides the fact the texture on this is a little bit nicer, I think because that hole in the middle helped it cook more evenly, it's also a little bit nuttier than that one. Not hugely, but you can tell that the tamarind seeds are in there. I think you can achieve the same sort of effect by throwing a handful of peanuts or sunflower seeds or something in with your Vada mix. Just like a little bit, it would add a nuttiness to it. So that's it. It took days, actual days, to come to this end, but I finally did it. For the average person who might go to the supermarket, get a box of tamarind, and take it home to make like a Thai dish or something like that, I don't think this makes a whole lot of sense. It takes so much effort to do this that it's not really worth the return that you get. However, it does make sense for people who are living in remote villages where it might be difficult to get food, or you have to like grow your own food. It takes a lot of work to do this, but the result you get is tasty, it's useful, it's nutritious, so it does totally make sense. I'm glad that I went through all the effort in doing this. However, I wouldn't do it again. This has been a lot of work, guys, and I am very glad to finally come to the end here, and I hope you enjoyed watching this this journey with me. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye. Oh no. I want to give a special shout out to AltPod and Smarter Every Day. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon is how this channel happens. It's how I can afford to do all the things that I do. So if you want to help me out by supporting the channel and getting some bonuses along the way, check out the description. I also have these shirts for sale. Those are in the description as well. See you next time. Bye.